It's a very special state that clearly explains why the brain and the body must connect in order to create a certain kind of harmony. And when that happens, we have coherence, which is another way that we understand energy, because it's not something that you really see, but it's something that you can clearly understand as an influence to optimize your health and well-being. So let's get started. First of all, welcome to this 15-minute quick chat about the science behind energy medicine. How did I get into this, and why is it so interesting for us to explore this topic now in our lives? Well, for me, I started off as a clinical psychologist, studying for 7 years in the University of Stellenbosch back in South Africa. But when I became much more experienced in psychotherapy and in clinical studies, I began to understand some of the work of Jung. Carl Gustav Jung, you might know him, was a very famous Swiss psychiatrist who became also very interested in the deeper side, or the invisible side, of psychology. Psychology is already a science that doesn't explain itself directly, but it is actually a very interesting way for us to know there's more going on than what might appear. So in the beginning, we think we are just speaking, but actually we are communicating, and there's an entire set of layers to our communication that is way beyond what we might think to start off with. These deeper layers are what a lot of the psychologists and psychiatrists back in the day were studying. But Jung was different. He looked at the way it all comes together. He looked at the spiritual side of the human being. He looked at the soul. He looked at how do we develop and become the best version of ourselves. And how does that tie up with the entire cultural messages that we got from our country, our nationality, our ethnicity? What are the stories we've been told? What are the myths? How do we begin to investigate that connects us to all the other groups around the world? So all the countries, all the people of the world share what he called a collective unconsciousness, which feeds us information during our sleep, which influences us during our lives. And so for me, I also began to understand that there was a deeper side to psychology that I wanted to investigate more into. And by chance, I discovered a drum. And in drumming, I was exposed to these amazing West African drummers from different countries like Senegal, Mali, because I lived in South Africa at the time. I was born in Zimbabwe. And I had exposure to these incredibly talented percussionists who were playing rhythm and stepping into these exhilarated states. They were in these beautiful, beautiful bubble of energy that felt a little bit like ecstasy when you would watch them play.